You wanna be the announcer voice?
Monster kill.
Yeah. You know, the one in Halo wasn't that bad either.
Oh, they're pretty good. I like the Quake 3 voice, I think. But I don't know, the lady in Unreal Tournament's pretty baller too, but she gets a little sexual, I find.
Well, you can change it though, right?
Oh, can you?
You can toggle between the woman. Yeah.
You want to play Raiden 1 or Raiden 2?
Well, we'll start with the first one, but let me just make sure I have these settings right. So.
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh yeah. So okay. So I gotta switch it back. So it's gonna be too hard. This I'm gonna want to switch it to. Hold on. Don't. There's a way to set it to free play. There we go. And that should be it. We're live? We are live? Alright. So you know what, before we do that, I gotta promote too. So I gotta go on my phone, tell my people that we're live. So let's see. Oh yeah, I did get it. Alright. You put your phone on silent?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me just get the link here. Put it on Twitter and the Facebook. Thank you, anyone who stumbles upon the stream. This is our second go at it. I think we've ironed out the kinks from the first time around. So
yeah, is there any echo or anything like that?
Please let us know in the chat. But I think everything is going fine. So yeah, you want to put it on silent.
Yeah.
Alright, so I put that. And we go Twitter.
Test run.
Test run.
We tried to do it last time, but it didn't work because there's an echo and all that. And I got PlayStation controllers that I'm leaning on, just in case anything, just in case we need extra.
So for anyone coming on the stream, we're starting off with the Raiden project. So that is a really cool compilation. It's a shmup, so it's a compilation of both Raiden 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. So it's an uncommon game. I wouldn't call it.
Is this a launch title?
Yeah, I think this was. I don't know if it was day one, but I'm pretty sure it was within the first 3 months of the PlayStation coming out. Which you could tell because the menus are really simple, bare bones. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. So for anyone who's into shmups, Raiden 1 has been released pretty much on any console. I mean, it's been on the Lynx, Genesis, Super Nintendo, PS1, Windows. I think there was an Atari Jaguar port. I think there was TurboGrafx. So this is actually the most arcade accurate one outside of the actual arcade cabinet. But the cool thing about this one is it has Raiden 2. So Raiden 2 really hasn't seen a port outside of this and Windows. I think it was a Windows 95 port. Other than that, it has never been ported. The reason why...
Red, I want blue.
Yeah, red is a little easier. You're going to want to get this if you're looking for Raiden 2 because it just hasn't been released. Mainly because emulation, the source code for the game is just really hard to crack. So it hasn't been released. So I'm about to jump in. I'm just doing one more plug.
Social media.
Social media. It's
Social
a
media.
wonderful thing. But you got to keep on top of it, so. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, I got the laser.
Well, the cool thing about it is if you collect the red afterwards, it shouldn't reset you, so you should actually be at level 2.
Wait, they made a Raiden 5?
Yeah, so they've been there's been Raiden 5, I think is the last one they've made. So it was Raiden 1, 2, 3, then there was Raiden Fighters Aces, 1, 2, 3, Raiden 4, and then Raiden 5, which I think 4 is called Overkill, or maybe it's 5, which I think just hit Steam, so... You know, if you're looking for Raiden, the thing about Raiden to keep in mind is, over the years, Raiden has exponentially become more of a bullet hell shooter. So the classic ones like this, 1, 2, and Raiden Fighters are very traditional top-down shooters. They're not that crazy. It's a nice balance between the bullet hell style and just traditional shmup territory. So it's not so overbearing. You can actually survive.
Like this one reminds me a lot of Truxton, which is probably my favorite vertical shooter, if not shooter of all time.
Good choice. I mean, I
fully co-op. This is awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's,
definitely.
that's really cool.
Was that on Genesis? No.
Yeah, so this the first one was on Genesis.
But was it co-op?
I think it was limited to one player.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So on Genesis it was called Raiden Trad, and which also was on SNES. So if we stay to see all the stars, they do insane damage.
Ooh.
But you know, sometimes you gotta just watch out for the bullets.
I got it. I saw him coming.
All right, he's done. So we're done with stage one. So the whole we're gonna try to maybe go through both games here.
Yeah, if we can. you want to beat both games?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it takes about 20 minutes. And again, we have I cheated a little. I put free play, so we have infinite continues. So it's not
For the sake of the stream, of course.
for the sake of the stream. I mean, the thing about Raiden 1 is it's a bit tough. So unlike Raiden 2, with Raiden 1, if you get
Dude,
game
that purple whip laser. Oh, I don't want
that's
blue.
great. Yeah.
The purple whip laser.
Do you want to stick with red and then I'll go blue?
Yeah, I like.
Okay, you're more okay. So I'll go blue.
I like red.
Red is good. So red is again traditional shmup, you know, terminology. Your pea shooter is the red, so it doesn't do that much damage, but it's a focused, concentrated. So the P is max power. You get the
Waiting for it to go red.
no, the P is max power. Oh, depending on the weapon you have. So pea shooter is standard gun. It shoots fast, has a high rate of fire, and when you level it up, it has a huge spread. So kind of like the Contra spread gun.
That's what I like.
But the thing is, it's weak, so you have to hit them a lot of times in order for it to do any damage.
I don't mind.
But it's kind of a payoff, right? So it's good for beginners. The thing about the laser,
I just got marked. I saw that coming a mile away.
it does a lot of damage, but the problem is it only goes one direction.
It doesn't have
a
huge
big
of an
range,
area of spread.
So you kind of have to.
I think they call it AOE.
So you kind of have to pick your shots and be more methodical with it. But if you're playing co-op, it's you know, one person can have red and the other person can have blue, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. So for those watching, Paul is red, I am blue.
We're gonna try to stick to that color scheme for all the power-ups.
So notice when you watch out. So when you level up your star, so that's a little secret in the game. If you overlap each other and you shoot at the same time, you shoot these little stars, which do a lot of damage. But the problem is you have to stay either perfectly still or you need to be in sync that you know where the other person's going at all times. Oh, you got the blue.
Just need a power-up at that point.
I got you covered.
That's it. Paul's getting carried. So
Yo, straight up, Aldo's doing all the work, and he's talking while doing it.
Oh, I got hit now. All right.
I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know the patterns.
Oh, now I got red. Whoops. Oh, just press start. You should have free play. So if you didn't have free play, we would be limited to, you know, however many
I'd be on
continues.
game over by now.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think
straight up.
I set it. Get P. So now you're max power. All right. So look at that. See? Now, yeah. So now if I stay over you, we're just unstoppable at this point.
That's crazy.
But they don't tell you how to do it. I mean, oh, watch out. So you don't know. Now this is going to help because you're going to have a lot of ships coming in. Your spread is going to help them not reach us. But also, you know, just dodge the occasional bullet. So the only limitation... This is a really good port of the game. Minus like a little bout of slowdown here and there. The only limitation is that this is a vertical shooter, so it obviously would have a vertical screen. So you'll notice that the game pans up and down because it can't get all of the screen in one shot. So it's compensating by doing the panning.
I'm a much... Get that peek. I'm a much bigger fan of the vertical.
You can apparently set this to vertical, but you would obviously need to turn the TV
Yeah.
on its side, which with HD TVs, that's not going to happen.
I don't know. I wouldn't even stick my CRT on the side.
Well, no, I mean, like, if you have a computer monitor...
What's up, Lolita?
There are some computer monitors that you can actually turn around. Like, the one I have, luckily, can do that.
Oh, yeah, because they have a swivel on the back.
They have the swivel, yeah, so you can actually set it. There's an... I think you need a Game Shark, though, and actually in order to do it. But you can set it to what they call TATE, T-A-T-E, which is the acronym they use for setting the games on its intended aspect ratio.
I like vertical.
Alright, I'm going to switch to blue, because I'm not digging the red. It makes it too easy for me. But again, like, so when I first started playing this, I mean, I've been playing this for over 20 years, I started using the red, because it's the... I wouldn't call it beginner gun, but it's the more manageable gun. So
absolutely. Even in Truxton, I love the red.
So even though it's weaker, it gives you more confidence because you can pretty much just shoot all day, just like in Contra, the spread, right? It basically breaks the game, but it's balanced too because it's weaker than the blue. Now for shooting together, like this, forget
it's overkill. Look at all that.
So like all the enemies coming in from the side, they're dead.
Oh,
like they're not even. All right, so you're
ALDO, say hi to Paige.
Oh, hey, Mom, what's going on? You're watching the stream? Alright, get the blue.
I don't want the blue, I want the red.
Oh, you want the red? Alright, cool. Alright, I gotta switch. How you doing, Mom? Thank you for watching. Is everything alright with the sound? Please let us know if it's echoey or... Because we've had issues in the past. I think we ironed them out by now. Oh, whoops. Get the... Alright, now you're blue now. If you want to switch to red, so good now.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll switch to blue. Alright, here we go. So I have a lot of love for this game. This is one of my earlier games. So when I used to go to elementary school back in South Norwalk, there was a restaurant called Las Flores Restaurant, which was right across, which I think now is... what is it called now? I don't even know what it's called. I think it's O'Neill's. No, not O'Neill's. It's a Mexican joint now. Rio Bravo, I think, on South Norwalk. Right across the street from the Sono Theater. So they used to have a Puerto Rican restaurant which is called Las Flores. And my brother was best friends with a kid in elementary school, and his parents owned the restaurant. And every day after elementary school, I would have to go there because my parents were both working, so nobody was home alone to watch me. And these guys were nice enough to... tell my parents that, hey, you can hang out at the restaurant until they get home. So what I would do is he had a cabinet. He had two. He had this, and he had Contra. So he was really nice enough. He would set it on free play, and I'd play for like 2 hours. It was awesome.
Just like after school, just
just after school.
Free play.
So this is how I just ended up becoming such a fan of this game. There's something to be said about these old school games with the sprites. It's... a lot of detail and a lot of love put into it.
Love sprites.
Which, unfortunately, Raiden with the sequels, it ended up becoming, polygons and all that. Which polygons look nice. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. It's just a certain character that is lost in translation, compared to sprites.
Like, especially with, like, the dudes that do SNK games. It's like sprite masters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sprites scale a lot better to modern televisions than the early 3D.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So more longevity in that way.
The cool thing about this is, even though the sprites are detailed here, if you go from Raiden 1 to Raiden 2, it's even more. Like there's so much more detail put into the game than the sprites. So like if you shoot down a plane, it'll go down into the ground, it'll blow up like the grass, and it'll leave a permanent mark. Oh, what? Starting.
Yo, Josh Lee, what are you playing tonight? I work with Josh Lee. I've worked with Josh Lee for like... Josh Lee, what, 4 years?
What up, Josh? Thank you for watching the stream.
He just got a beast computer.
Nice.
So now he's playing computer games.
I don't blame you.
He's playing this game called Squad that I'd never heard of.
Squad. I don't know. I guess I'm getting old. Not too hip on these new games now.
Squad's like an ultra-realistic military simulation.
Oh, is it? Like like Arma used to be?
It's no, it's even like pretty much more hardcore than Arma actually.
Oh wow. Okay. That's the real deal.
It's rough.
It's all about the stars. Alright, get your power. Oh, that's a bomb. Yeah, you can get that. Yo, it's like nope. It's funny how it does that, yeah.
Yo, that bomb was just like, I see your button presses and I'm going in the other direction.
Nope.
Yo, and then I finally get the bomb and then...
Alright, you got it now.
That was more of a challenge than killing the enemies.
Oh, Paul, you getting
I'm getting murked right now.
Luckily, we're on free play. So, like, if you weren't on free play, it'd probably be game over by now.
Oh, it would have been game over.
That's the thing. That's why I did the free play, because you know, you don't have to worry about doing well or anything like that. You know, it's more for the purpose of the stream, just to be able to interact and stuff.
Like in Truxton, it took me so long to like memorize what the level was going to be, so I knew what was coming beforehand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then even when you know, it still is a little bit of a challenge, because you have to still hit it. You have to hit this guy 4 times, and you got to move out of the way because you know the next guy's coming. That's why these games in the arcade took your quarters. Quarter, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? There was a certain charm to having a quarter sucker.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they were difficult, yes, but I don't think they were ever, you know, like pull your hair. With the exception of a certain few games, like Ghosts and Goblins, that's one.
I put a lot of quarters into like Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, Gauntlet was great. You know what we should do? Ooh, Gauntlet Legends. Do you have that for N64?
No.
That's 4-player co-op.
Nice.
I always walked by that game in the arcade. It never...
It was sick. I mean, it's just a co-op. It's a co-op experience. You know, because Gauntlet 1 and 2 were just, you know, dungeon crawlers. You know what's great about Gauntlet, though? There's the really cheap voice. You know, like, you've picked up health. It's like really robotic voice. It was great.
Get them stars going.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for the... Alright. We're good. So actually that's the boss, so... Nope. I'm sorry. Nope. Not the boss.
I dropped map bombs.
Get... Yep. Alright, so we're gonna get the stars because we're gonna have these guys coming out. That'd be a good way to cover.
Damn, them stars.
Make things... Oh, ooh, got you. Alright. Press start, and then get P. That means you get power up. Oh, you keep picking a laser.
Whatever. At this point, I don't even...
Alright, so...
Are we using OBS?
This is, I believe, XSplit.
Oh, okay.
Alright, drop a bomb. And then we get these little satellite dudes. And he's done. So, because of the stars, it just nerked him that much. This is just, we breezed through the game.
You breezed through the game, I followed along.
Now, mind you, I used to be a lot better. I used to know this in and out, but it's been a long time. So, you know what? I'm just going to pause it for now. Let's just see what's going on in the chat.
Trying to keep up with the chat a little bit.
Anybody say anything about audio? Is it...
No, it's... I would say it's good.
Seems to be fine.
Cool. That was one of our big mistakes with the first time. I guess,
What's up, Ryan?
I think we left the stream on the computer, so it was doing like a double feedback type of thing.
Oh, that's what was going on.
Yeah, so it was recording from here, but then it was also recording from the desktop, so then it was like a big echoey thing. Is anybody noticing any lag between when we're talking and when you hear it? I think we got that ironed out too, so I think we're good. Oh, Ryan's watching? What up, Ryan? What up, Rax the Great? Oh, so this is, I think, you have it set so that when people curse, it's going to be like you have to approve.
Yeah, I don't want people cursing.
No? Yeah.
Or saying, not necessarily cursing, but like, I don't know.
Well, that's him. He's the one saying it.
Or like, not cursing, but like saying like...
Well, that's why, because it's asking you for approval, but like, is this okay to show up on the stream or in the chat? Alright, so...
I need power-ups, I can't be doing all that. Monitoring.
Look at those stars, though. Sick. Now, I didn't figure out the stars until when I tried it at the restaurant. I just, for whatever reason, decided to have 2 players at the same time. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why is it shooting stars? And come to find out, it's, you know, uber powerful thing. Ooh, it almost got me. Now, for those of you who stream and talk all the time, I commend you. It's really hard to, like, focus. Especially now that things are getting crazier. Get that? Oh, yo, they get you, like, right after.
As soon as you go to get the power up, that's when a bullet's coming by. Or as soon as right after you get it. You gotta, like, get in the zone.
Yeah.
I don't know how you've been talking this entire time and you're, like, in the zone.
I mean, I've died a few times, but yeah, I mean, I'm used to it.
When? I haven't seen it.
I've died like 3 times. Well, I mean, I know the way the enemies work, so... Oh,
Cyborg.
For certain games. I mean, I think Paul would say for Streets of Rage, I'm like that too, but...
Yo.
Because I was just like, I was playing Streets of Rage, I was just destroying. But again, that's one of those games that I've played so many times that I've just committed it to memory. And it's just so easy. But easy, not boring, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things I could play forever and not get tired of it. So this game came out, I think, mid to late 80s. I think it was, I would say maybe 89, 90. And this is kind of still in that golden age of where, like, it was all about sprites. You know, shmups were all about that, just details. You know, really cool things, like if an enemy is close to dying, you'll see his ship is on fire, or like a wing is clipped off. Just little bullet holes. Little subtleties like that, right? It's great. And then when you play Raiden 2, it's even more. So there's even more detail put in everything. Just sucks that we don't have the sound though. Might have to crank it up. It's missing out on this great music.
Dude, the music for this game was killer.
So yeah, the music was a big
wow.
draw for me with Raiden. So as fun as the game, oh, how did that? You shielded the blow for me. So as great as the gameplay is, the music is just another aspect of it being, you know, one of the great charms of the game. It's just so good, and even better with Raiden 2. It's just insane. All right, so oh, he got me too. All right, so what you want to do with like guys like these? You drop a bomb, get rid of them. All right, so I'm reset now. I see, I died. Yeah, I'm human. Alright, so you're gonna stick with the pea shooter, I'll stick with the blue.
Yeah, man, I always liked the the guns with the spread.
Yeah, I mean it's
same Contra.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean you want the spread.
You need it.
Like Noah was saying with hardcore, like if you ever hope to do hardcore, you need the spread. Like if you want a fighting chance, you take spread. Alright. So see how that, like when he's exploding, you'll see like little mini explosions.
And like the crater in the crater
cool,
in the bottom.
So I mean, it's scripted, yes, but it adds a whole like level of detail and stuff, and these are things you don't really see anymore. So like the difference is with like Raiden 2, you see the cityscape here. It doesn't happen in this game, but in the second one, when you shoot a plane down on a building, it'll blow up the building, or like it'll have a permanent effect on the landscape, which is really awesome.
Dude, stage 5. Aldo got to stage 5.
Damn.
I put the purple drink in my Sprite with Jolly Ranchers. Alright, Ryan, get back to editing. Yo, put up some more video. Oh, do a video with Paul here. Need to get you on here, my man.
Some ideas floating.
We're going to go to space. This is like the halfway point of the game. So now we were on Earth. Now we're going to space. So you know what? Let me try turning on the sound. But I'm going to lower it. Think that'll be fine?
Yeah.
Please let us know if you find that there's like echoes or anything like that. So there's a whole bunch of asteroids. So it's like, you know, the best thing to do would be like the stars. That would be the easiest thing. I would just get rid of all the asteroids without us
just
see? And then occasionally reach up for the power-ups. Whoever wants it. You want it? And then go back to stars.
That red. Go get that blue one.
Yeah, hold on. I'll wait for it to cycle back. See how crazy it is though? If you didn't have the stars...
Yeah. So many asteroids coming at you.
Alright. Now you can move. No more asteroids. So this is actually one of my favorite songs. Since is called Rough and Tumble. So basically, this is the part of the game where the training wheels are off. Like, it's hardcore now.
Yeah.
Or, well, I wouldn't say super hardcore, but the difficulty curve ramps up.
This is where it increases.
You got a lot of lateral fighters coming in.
Oh yeah, for those sneak attacks, like they'll just
those are the worst.
one-shot kills. Yeah. Full power. There you go. All right, so now stars. Just let it go. All right, I'll get my blue now. Stars again. So the stars kind of break the game. But when you're playing together,
it doesn't always work.
I mean, as long as they're in the radius. For like the smaller enemies, it works. You know? For the bosses, not... I mean, it can work for the bosses as long as like you're both in sync and moving. But look at how much quicker it destroys everything.
Yeah.
Like,
it just helps you get to the next stage, or the next wave of
So, like,
enemies.
we're not even moving, right? It's just... Like, come at me, bro. Like, it's so easy. Now, again, it's one of those things that they don't tell you how to do this. You only figure it out by playing it so often. Alright, so... You're at full power.
Yeah, I didn't need that
you
shit.
didn't need
It was
it,
just fucking... We were stars for so long. Oh! Goddamn bomb.
Oh, I walked into one. Alright, drop a bomb. This guy. Alright, he's done. But with the missiles, I would get the H, because that's homing. And then I'd go back to stars. Yo, that thing got you. Let's go back to the star formation. Asteroids.
Yeah, asteroids coming at.
Oh, did that do...
It snuck up on us all slow.
Alright, drop a bomb.
Drop bombs on them.
Stars.
Look at all those power-ups!
Stars. Oh.
I got greedy for all the power-ups.
Yes, you did. Alright, just let the asteroids do their thing. We should be reaching the boss soon. But see, look, there's like dinosaur bones. Like, why?
Yo,
you shielded a shot. You shielded. Nice.
Yeah, the dinosaur on the left right there. That's so
Why
cool.
not? It's just like little world building for no reason.
Yo, let's get back to stars.
Yeah.
I got my...
Is this the moon or?
Yeah, we're in space now.
Dinosaurs on the moon, you know.
Why not?
It's one of those.
I mean, this...
Ancient
It hasn't been
aliens,
said if this is the moon or not. We don't really know for sure. It's a lunar base. Or so, we're...
a little tiny little bones over there too. Yeah.
I don't know, I love this game. But the music is so good. But then this music in part 2 is even better, so it's like, wow. So the other games I have on 360, it's called Raiden Fighters Aces. So it's like early 2000s, but they kept the sprites. Alright, so these guys we gotta shoot. Just drop bombs, just keep dropping bombs. It's usually the easiest way to cheese them.
And they leave little craters.
There should be more. No, actually, this is it. This should be the last level coming up, I believe. Ba-da-ding. Should be the level 1 song again. Bam, 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 bam. Ba-da-ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh no! All right, stars. So sometimes if we're not powered up enough. Oh, yeah, we're gonna want that. You know what? Yeah, stay stars right there.
Buck wild. She's great. Look at all that green.
They're not even coming out anymore. Now see, okay, back down a little. Now we got these guys. Watch out. See, now they're shooting, so it's becoming a pain. This would be where, like, if you had a maxed out red, it would come in handy. I see you're starting to dodge.
You gotta get acclimated. Takes a little while.
Learning curve, yeah. Alright, so... Whoop. That was close. Oh. Alright, so unfortunately with the PlayStation version, because the aspect ratio isn't right, sometimes enemies can shoot you from the side of the screen without you seeing it. because the game is panning. It's an unfortunate byproduct of it not, you know, being the correct aspect ratio.
Oh, I got
Now
sniped.
see, yeah, now it's getting really tough now. All right, so now we can star. Oh, we see they just creep up on it.
Out of the side, and then they just pop out of the side out of nowhere and just... I didn't even see the bullet that got me.
Well, see that's the risk when you have so much stuff going on. It becomes harder to see the actual bullets.
Hell
from the enemies.
yeah!
They blend in, so it's tough.
Especially if they come out of the corner, out of the side, just real quick.
Yep. So that's where most of the deaths come from, off screen. Ooh.
I saw that one coming, but I couldn't press up in time.
Now, see, it's hard, but I don't think it's artificially hard. I think it's still enjoyable.
Yeah,
I mean, we have it
great.
on free play, so yeah, we don't have to worry. You know, obviously in the arcade, this would be eating your quarters away, though. But unlike a bullet hell where there's a million bullets on screen,
Yeah, I'd be at $6 or by now.
you know, so it's a different taste. This, I think, is a happy medium between where it's not boring and it's not cheap to the point of like you have no chance. Look at that. Without the stars, how do you even hope to do that? So like with here, if you don't have max red, you're dead like all day. Don't even need that. The stars take care of it. Alright, so the boss is going to be these two train tracks, I think, going up these two rails. Or maybe it's a big rocket. Oh yeah. Alright. So that's the nucleus. Got another bomb. He has multiple forms, so he's gonna... Oh no?
No, it's the last boss. He's gotta do something.
Yeah. I forget. This may be the second to last stage. I'm not sure. There should be one more stage.
Yeah, after this, we'll go on to Raiden 2.
Yeah, boy. Oh yeah. Okay. Bam, 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 boom, 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 boom.
I turned blue right before I got it. Yeah.
Yo, you just shielded me, man. Taking bullets for me? Oh, alright. There's P. Yeah, this is definitely the last stage. Oh my, I walked right into that. Wow. Oh my god, I'm just getting... Wow, alright, I'm slipping here.
That P.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
This is basically, it's throwing the kitchen sink at you. This is where you use your bombs liberally. So the good thing about the bombs is they shield any bullets from coming in at you. So it's a good little panic button. And really, since every time you die you get 3 bombs again. So I mean, you really are should just be using them all day. Because there's really no
Then you could just collect
no
more.
punishment for it, so.
Woo. Look at...
Yo, you walked into that.
Here we go, we're good.
Oh,
wow, though.
so he just shot me once. There we go. Ooh, look at those stars, boy.
game's sick.
It's cool, right?
This game's really sick. Oh, I moved right into that. It's so hard.
Oh, I just walked right in them. So some of the earlier enemies you can actually overlap and they won't hurt you. But now it's come to the case where most of them do, so you just have to be really careful where you're shooting.
And then also
these purple bastards. That's the
once you know which enemies shoot in what ways, that also helps.
yeah.
Like you said, these purple guys, they come in and shoot all on the angles, and then these tanks have like a nice spread shot.
It's the purple ones are the ones that give you the most trouble because they're the ones who sneak up on you. All right. So we're almost at the boss. Alright, let me get blue. Wow.
Here, get those power-ups. Yeah.
Alright, so this will be the final boss. He's going to have multiple forms.
Damn. There you go.
He's not done.
No, but you got the P. Max power.
Yeah. Alright. No, okay, there's got to be one more. There's no way that's the final one. I don't remember fully, but it just looked too easy.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were going to end up playing this, but you brought this over and you were just
so
like...
then we go back to Earth. Yeah, the game's over. So what happens is, the way the arcade game worked, it loops. So...
It would just start right back
yeah,
over?
so you go back to the ship in the very first level. It goes, but it gets harder. Every time, every loop. Just like the old classic games, right? So that's it. So yeah, we can switch to 2.
Let's do Raiden 2.
But it's sick though, right?
That was so sick. That was awesome.
I was going to pause. And then it just resets. So we'll go to Raiden 2. So Raiden 2 is basically all of this, but that much better. So it has better music, it has better sprites, I think better weapons, so it changes it. So as opposed to just red, pea shooter, blue laser, and then there's also something which is purple, which is a...
the purple,
it's like
it's
like a snaking laser. So the really cool thing about it is once you level it up, you can like lock into one enemy, and while you're snaking it around, it hits multiple enemies at the same time. It's great. The only limitation to this is on the PlayStation, once you level it up, you can either call it a bug or a benefit. It slows the game down because it just can't process all of that going on. But it kind of makes it easier for you to like dodge bullets. Sorry, so look at like the level of detail.
Even on the ships.
So you saw that, the debris?
Yeah, when you shoot them, they...
Just little things, like watch this ship. Alright, like debris, right?
I'm going to confuse that for bullets, I already feel it. No, the bullets are nice bright and orange.
Alright, so you'll get... I'll do the laser. Because the laser just looks cool. Now look at the little ships, watch. They... It's just cool. I don't know. There's just more detail.
They explode. You shoot them and they explode, and then like the little metal doors are flying off.
Just little details. And notice how there's crater marks now? See? They pop up after every enemy you kill. So that changes depending on where you kill the enemy. Now you'll notice that the music now is more synthy.
I love that synthesized music.
It's just awesome.
Yes, dude. That was great.
Let me get my purple. There we go. So notice how it's sinking. See that? I'm just like whipping everyone. It's insane. Oh, so you got it too.
Yeah,
All right.
hell yeah. This weapon's no joke.
So when you level it up, it just does more damage, right? Look at that. It's like playing Ghostbusters. You're crossing the streams. It's great. Alright, so the boss is coming up. So it's going to be pretty much the boss from the first level in the first game. Just jacked up.
Oh, I hit the blue. I was waiting for it to turn purple.
Now notice we have the stars too, right? So you can do the stars. And now there's two different bombs. This is a cluster bomb. Look at that, Andy. You saw that animation? That's just awesome.
Dude, look at his little arms and legs like moving around.
Yeah. So there's just so much more. Okay, so there's two tanks now. So we have one, now we have the second one. This is the guy that has the pattern. There's just so many more subtleties in this game, just animation-wise. It's just awesome. Like, when the first time I played, like, holy crap, this looks, 10 times better than the first.
Dude, I can't, like, look at his legs moving like that.
It's just so much more intricate. There's a whole bunch of, like, hidden power-ups around here. I love it. I play this game all day. Oh, and then this song. Oh, this is one of the better songs, too. Alright, laser be right now.
Yeah.
Look at that. Smoke coming from the chimney. That's sick. So, I mean, the purple weapon kind of breaks the game because...
It's great.
You can attack, like, everyone and just go to town with it. Look at that. Look at how it snakes around. That's sick. Look at it. Look. Boom.
Like how it, like...
And see how it creates a crater?
Creates
in that one spot?
Like, as it was going down,
as it was going down, yeah.
Blowing up.
That's insane. Like, how do they program that, right?
Lots and lots of drawing.
Right, so
they're all, like you said, it's all sprites.
Oh, you changed this.
I didn't mean to get the red. Whatever.
So these cows were in the first game as well. They're back. Notice you're not dying as much. You see, so the difficulty, I think, in the the difficulty is not as bad. It's easy, and once you get the purple gun, it just breaks the game.
And also after playing the first one for a little while,
you're kind of getting used to it, yeah. You're dodging. Oh, I got purple somehow. Okay. So the cool thing about the purple is with the little guys, I can just snake it left and right constantly, and it just hits them all.
Grab them, catch them.
Bam, 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 bam. It's just like, look at the debris. It's just, there's so much fucking, so much detail that's just thrown into here. It's just, it's extremely intricate. I really don't know how they do it. It really, it amazes me. Really lucky. He was about to switch.
Yeah. I knew that was a blue.
You went for it though.
Dude, it's all about that purple snake.
It just looks cool, right?
It's just awesome. It reminds me of the blue laser in Truxton. If the blue laser was level 1, like if you didn't power it up yet, but you had the blue laser, it was just like this, where it could catch on to somebody and you could move and it would stay attached. And then once you leveled it up to level 3, it was pretty much like you had 3 of them. So imagine having 3.
This guy shoots a bunch of planes, but now that we have the snake, we don't have to worry about it because we just whip it left and right. They're never going to touch us. All. And then, get close, drop a bomb. Now, so this guy has multiple... Oh, I spoke too soon. He got me. So this guy has multiple forms. So note he's getting damaged, he's getting bruised, getting hurt. He changed up his thing. So now he's changing up his bullet
those patterns came out of nowhere.
He blew up. There's like a couple hidden items around here. Spores. Oh, I got it. That's cool. It's just so much more intricate than the first game. Sprite scaling, is that what you think they do to cause those, like, you know, craters and whatnot that happens?
Or like to create the effect of it like falling down.
Or yeah, it's kind of like, so it adds depth, right? It's like layers of depth. Because obviously the ships are on one plane, the background,
and then the in between, and how it shrinks.
Yeah,
which similar to like if you play like some.
I guess like you're saying, yeah, sprite scaling, right? Because the sprite is in real time becoming smaller and smaller. But how do they program it so that every piece, like if it falls in a building, it'll create a crater for that, but then it'll be a different crater if it falls in the trees.
Yeah,
because you'll see a brush fire.
The craters all have to be, they're all pre-made. And then I don't know.
So the way they programmed it, did they make a crater for every pixel, and depending on where the sprite hits, it'll activate that? Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know either.
Like Space Harrier. Well, Space Harrier, that's more mode 7 though, right? Because the way it zooms in, or not mode 7, yeah, mode 7, right?
Well, there's like 10 modes or something.
Yeah, but I think the one that the Sega would use more often would be mode 7. Or no, was that Super Nintendo?
Yeah,
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, right? But Genesis had it, and Sega had it for a few games. Like you're saying, Space Harrier, obviously with like the bullets that come at you, or like the enemies that are snaking around. I don't know what it was called. Maybe I know parallax scrolling is something else. That's with
that's when you have the stuff going back.
Yeah, multi-layered backgrounds, like scrolling around. But I could have sworn that had to do with zooming in too, because I know Rolling Thunder 2 for Genesis had something like a boss that was all the way in the background, and then it would zoom in to your plane. I don't know. Maybe you can correct me if Mode 7 Nintendo nuts. Yeah, you're right. But I know Sega had their own version of it. I don't know what it was called. But I don't know if this is something similar where it on the fly.
Sega's didn't get famously named like Nintendo's did. And Nintendo, what's funny is they had multiple different modes for graphics, but only Mode 7 became famous because I think it was Star Fox that made that one famous. I have no idea. That like got that one like
that was Polygon. I don't think Mode 7 works with polygons.
There's something that had it.
But yeah, Charvester, I don't know, maybe if you know, but it's really cool. I mean, it fascinates me how there's so much, you know, the enemies here are programmed to do one thing, like the jets. You blow them up, their wings, then debris will fall in a certain way.
That really is so cool.
As opposed to the first game where they blow up, they just blow up. Like, you don't see the detail of it.
It reminds me a lot of like how like Metal Slug has like a lot of the detail.
Yeah,
like
particle effects, right? Yeah, I guess you can call them 2D particle effects. But like to me, this game came out in like 92, 91, 92. That's insane. You know, like it's
Hey, so did everything else for the Neo Geo.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's just who
made this game?
This is Seibu Kaietsu. I could be butchering that, but I'm sure they made other shmups, but the ones that I'm aware of are Raiden. So, as far as the Raidens that I've played this one, 1, 2, 3. I did, which 3 was on PS2, but they have it on Steam now, so you can get it for that. 3 went to polygons, but it tried to emulate this. But I think the big problem with it is too much going on. So it was more leaning towards the bullet hell type. Which again, nothing wrong with bullet hell. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer the simpler shmups. So like Gradius, 1941, Strikers, 1945, Raiden.
Dude, for bullet hell, I played Death Smiles for Xbox 360, and there's just so much stuff
going on, right? Yeah.
And like, there was like no like unit collision. I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my god, I can't get hit by any of this stuff. But like, I guess your graphic is a lot bigger than your actual hitbox because things are like rubbing off my shoulders left and right, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you invincible in this game?
Yeah.
And then you keep playing it, and you're like, wait a minute, no, I'm not. It's just that. It's just so crazy.
The whole catch to bullet hell is as many bullets as you can see on the screen at once, and the whole idea is you're moving in millimeters to try to like dodge them all, but there's a pattern to it. So they're all patterns.
Yeah, they really are.
You just have to play it enough to understand, like, okay, I'm not even looking at the enemies anymore. I'm just looking at the bullet patterns.
As opposed to this, where it's not a bullet pattern, it's like a guy coming out.
Swiping you from the little,
There'll be some patterns that you'll have to memorize, like the tanks. The tanks will have patterns where you're like, okay, and then you got to dodge in between it, but then there'll be a lot of like more random bullets where you actually have to see the bullet coming and then react to it.
Yeah. So this era, I feel, is a nice balance for those who want a decent challenge, but it's not overkill like a bullet hell shooter. Bullet hells can look great; they look nice. But this, to me, looks nicer because it's Sprite, and there's just more love and care put into the sprites than there are polygons. It's just the way I see it. So Raiden has always been like the holy grail for me, but there are a lot of great games too. Yeah, as you mentioned, Charvester, on PC Engine, TurboGrafx, which I don't know if it's PC Engine or TurboGrafx. I think it's TurboGrafx.
That got a Raiden?
That has Raiden Trad, which is Raiden 1. But Raiden 2, this one, was only on this PlayStation. It was only in the arcade and only on Windows. Windows 95 had a port. That's it.
Windows 95 had a port.
Windows 95. Nice. CD. So, that's it.
That would be a cool...
The story goes is that apparently the arcade, the was it PCB? The circuit board or whatever?
I just always call them arcade boards.
It has encryption. And for the longest time, the guys who do emulation on MAME, they haven't been able to crack the emulation, which is why they've emulated the game, but it's imperfect. So like a lot of sprites are missing, a lot of parts of the game are just pure black because it can't render.
So this game's, you can't really emulate the arcade version of this.
They can't because no one's been able to crack the source code. So that's why you can't play it on MAME.
Really?
You can play it, but it's not a complete version of the game. So for whatever reason, they've never released it on 360, PS3, Steam, which sucks. I would buy this in a heartbeat. This is a...
Well, you already have it.
Well, but I like if I could have it on Steam and like have online multiplayer with this would be sick. You know?
Yeah, the multiplayer on this was actually really, really fun.
It's cool. Yeah, well,
I was able to beat the game because I was playing it multiplayer with ALDO.
But anyways, yeah, let's go back and destroy. But that wasn't the best part to do it. But you notice like the bullet patterns here are slower. It's not as crazy. I mean, it'll get crazier.
We're also level 2?
Yeah. Alright, so you can get the purple here.
Yeah, I want that purple.
Go... Nope.
Too soon. Slightly too soon. Oh, well, there'll be 100 more. Thank you to whoever's watching, by the way.
Yeah, Charvester, thank you for watching, my man. Have you ever played Raiden, or like what's your favorite shmup? I mean, everyone has different tastes. For me, I like the this is a vertical, right? I keep forgetting.
Yeah. It's vertical.
This is vertical, right? Alright, purple. There you go.
Oh, and you got one too? You want that purple? Or you got max power?
No, it's the red. I'll keep red for now. You can max up your purple. Hey, look at that! Boom! Like he drops down, right? And it makes puddles. Look at all the puddles that are happening in the water
as we destroy stuff. Yeah.
That's insane. Like it's just to me, that would seem like it's just way too much work to do. Oh yeah, he got you there.
I'm surprised the Saturn didn't have anything like this.
Well, Saturn had a lot of shmups, but just not this for whatever reason. I don't know why they never got Raiden. They never got any Raiden, which breaks my heart. I mean, you know, Saturn had, you know, Radiant Silvergun, I think they had Strikers, I think. They also had the Capcom Generations, which was 1941, 1942.
Games had to be like Q&A tested like crazy.
I would guess so,
like, I
right?
think about that a lot. Like, you know, you can patch games these days, but for a game to get
Oh, you got lucky. It was two. You got lucky.
That little beam is really good.
Oh, it's insane. It breaks the game, though.
Wiggle, wiggle.
I just love it. I just love it. I mean, this brings me back to my childhood. Shmups were a big part. Yeah, obviously, with Paul and me, fighting games are a huge part. But one of the other games that really just connected with me as a child was just shmups. These shmups in particular. I mean, obviously, I told you, my story before, and that's what was it for me.
Oh, yo, we got mad purple, yo.
Yeah, so now I'm powered up. Look at that.
Got some girth on that one.
Got the maximum purple. And we get some stars going.
With the purple, I don't think the stars happen. Yeah,
you don't get stars with purple.
No,
that'd be just it would be
just too much, too broken. Yeah. Look at that. Like, you don't even have to aim. You just let it do its thing.
Just avoid the bullets.
And then just drop bombs. Just let it go. But
yeah, let's make it slow down. Let's make the slowdown happen.
Because the game can't keep up. There's just too much going on. Can you overclock a PlayStation?
Ah, you looked into it.
This is PlayStation,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
This is on PS2 and RGB.
Oh, I
Is this
switched.
collection disc then?
Yeah, so this is PS1. It's Raiden Project, so it's Raiden 1 and 2 together.
Gotcha.
Ooh. See that dodging right there?
Yeah.
But see, I have to concentrate for that.
Look at those fire. Look at those.
Particle, if I see that? See that?
Look at that.
This is insane. Oh, now we got the stars. I love it. There's just so much attention to detail. And unfortunately, maybe most people who played this back in the day didn't even care. But for like when I would play it, it would just like, holy moly, like, wow, that's an insane amount of like attention to detail. Like for something that no one's probably even going to notice when they're playing it in the arcade, you know?
I have a buddy who does sprites, and like the amount of time spent on creating even one unique sprite is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't even realize. Christmas PS2. The Christmas PS2.
Oh, yeah.
That was,
Well, that's the same one you did for the Tekken tournament.
Yeah.
At Game Haven.
Who got that?
This one guy, forget his name. He wasn't a regular, though, but he came in for Tekken. Yo, Tekken's a
Whole new thing.
whole other can of worms, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
You done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You too wiped out?
I'm
fine.
done for now. It was a good stream. Now we know how
cool.
to do it.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everyone
for
who
watching.
watched. And
Hopefully we
let
can,
us know what you think.
Hopefully we can do this more often. If you have any suggestions for streams.
Let us know on Facebook what you think so we can do stuff.
Cool.
And
Thank you for
let us
watching
know.
again. Thank you for having me here, Paul.
Of course.
And please subscribe, Retro Gaming Arts. Check out Paul and check out what he does. Thank you.